danger at all. So you have to also ask, what is danger? Why both little and so if it is true, we know why both of them are dangerous. Hanan gave a logical explanation why both are dangerous, but you are coming from very logical perspective. But that goes for the content. The question was, is Albert Einstein said it, right? So then it's if we have Islamic definition, we can see why both are dangerous. Yes, Abdul Rahman.
If you don't agree on me,
Yeah.
angry.
Oh no, I'm never angry.
You don't mind.
No.
In Quran, we have وَجَعَلْنَاكُمْ أُمَّةً وَسَطًا لِتَكُونُوا شُهَدَاءَ
Oh, I
عَلَى
know that.
النَّاسِ.
I know. Wasata means what for you?
Wasat means
Average.
to be empty from Ifrat and Tafri. Be in a...
I'll show you what wasat means.
I
Here,
approved it wrong, sir.
Not
Here.
increasing, not.
this is wasat.
Right.
Wasat, most Muslims today, they think wasat means average between Abu Jahl and Prophet Muhammad.
No.
Wallah, most of them believe that. They say, we are being extremists, we are being Wahhabi, we are being Salafi. Look, Ummat Wasat. I said, brother, your definition of Wasat is Abu Jahl and Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam divided by 2.
We have definition from books. Mean Ifrat mean Yahud. In Tafriq
Yeah.
mean Nasara.
That's it. It's right wing, left wing. See, Darlin and Maghzub.
Dalin in Mag.
This is it. This one is the one we are trying to establish. Everything else is that. And by the way, 72 out of 73 are those. Isn't that a hadith? Yes.
So the definition of Ummat Wasat, that is also defined in the following of that ayah.
Yeah.
وَجَعَلْنَاكُمْ أُمَّةً وَسَطًا لِتَكُونُوا شُهَدَاءَ عَلَى النَّاسِ.
Yeah.
You must be witness on the people.
Yeah.
And وَيَكُونَ الرَّسُولُ عَلَيْكُمْ شَهِيدًا.
Yes.
And
Allah made Prophet.
Yes, and this means that the Muslim Ummah should follow what Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam did. And also you or the Muslim Ummah, that they are witness on to convey that message or that order that Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam bring to us.
Exactly that.
To the
And
other
that's the
people.
one. That's the golden standard. And that's what we keep saying. Remember the other day I said, even Sahaba's action is not evidence. It's not Shuhada. Shuhada is only Prophet. He's the only evidence. Didn't we talk about it last week? Remember? On Wednesday we were talking about it. He's the only standard. And that standard is straight. You cannot have 3 points. Quran or Hadith.
So about the previous point,
Yes.
I made a major premise. Knowledge is beneficial. Okay?
Yes.
Knowledge is beneficial.
Of course,
And
it's our obligation too.
my main promise is every piece of knowledge can benefit you irrespective of the amount.
Of course. Yes, that's
Okay.
correct. It comes from Shahada.
Yeah. So a little knowledge is beneficial. Means it is not dangerous.
It's never dangerous. Unless you don't have Iman.
So it means that
See, if you have a little more knowledge and you're giving fatwa, that's your problem. It's not problem with your knowledge.
هل يستوي الذين يعلمون والذين لا يعلمون عندهم قرآن آيات استكنة؟
خب بندقوا بأساس اینکه هل يستوي الذين يعلمون والذين لا يعلمون سيدا بندقوا أساس اینکه knowledge is beneficial فكر بدوين كلام كي every piece of knowledge can benefit you irrespective of the amount. Okay, on the basis of the فَمَنْ يَعْمَلْ مِثْقَالَ ذَرَّةٍ خَيْرًا وَمَنْ يَعْمَلْ
Yes,
مِثْقَالَ.
Saida.
So, seeking knowledge is also
Obligation.
obligation. It is a deed.
Of course.
We consider. So, on the basis of that, even seeking of knowledge or having of a later knowledge is can benefit you. So we can conclude.
It's never dangerous unless it becomes dangerous if you are lacking iman, if your intention is bad. For you. Yes.
If we define knowledge in terms of Arabic,
Yes. Ilm.
it's the process, yes, it's the process where we have an arrow and we have a target. When we hit the target, yes, this process is called ilm. In other words, the process which leads you to the target or the ultimate purpose of
Closer
life.
to Allah.
Sorry?
Closer to Allah.
Yes. From that definition, you can say that little knowledge is dangerous, and we have to gain more knowledge because
It's not dangerous as such because it's possible that you are doing your best, but you can only have that little knowledge.
I'm just
What is dangerous, I tell you, Abdullah, is to stop seeking knowledge because you're violating
I'm
Prophet.
saying that more knowledge gets you closer to Allah
Exactly.
and to your ultimate purpose of life.
Yes, and it's a very good point. We should go crazy. I don't know a guy with so little knowledge. I want to increase more because it's an obligation.
As a Muslim, we must be in a seeking of knowledge from the
Constantly.
hadith from cradle up to grave.
That's right. Constantly. The moment I said I'm an alim, I was certified, and I'm done now. I will only give fatwa. You're done.
But actually today is that there are more Muslim scholars that they have full knowledge, but actually they don't express the reality or the
That's the classic definition. Remember, who is Allah most angry with among Bani Israel? Repeatedly.
the
Allah-
scholars that
Scholars.
for example we
Because
can say
they were hiding they hide facts.
and today
True
that
knowledge.
we can say Qarzawi that may God bless him that because today is died, but he has some fatwas that is completely wrong today.
You know, Saif, every day I watch these videos. Yesterday I watched one. Everything they say is a lie.
Yes.
And they lie on Allah. I give her one example yesterday. What is this Sheikh now? The long beard guy on the radio or TV.
Hamad?
No. Oh, name come to me later. He said, smoking breaks your fast.
Mufti Mint.
No, is worse. See,
See,
he is giving fatwa, right? Somebody asked, what are the things that break your fasting? Very important question. It's very relevant. Smoking breaks your fast.
Yes.
Good. What? Brushing teeth with toothpaste doesn't break your fast. Why? Because the amount that goes in is very little. See, who told you? Did science tell you? Did Allah tell you? No. They are giving fatwa, and we'll see that right away. They are giving fatwa that will be pleasing to the kafir, that will be paying for itself. It doesn't stop there. If you eat even a full meal without knowing, it's permissible because you did not know. Right? It's good. But if you smoke, it's gone. That's good. Inhaler. Smoking is haram. It breaks your fast. But inhaler. You know what inhaler is?
Yeah.
It's halal. Why? Very little goes into it. That's it. Now tell me, what is the difference between cigarette and inhaler? Tell me. Is there any difference? Inhaler actually wet. You know, inhaler is liquidy, like spray. Cigarette is dry, it goes away right away. And component, cigarette component compare with inhaler component. Cigarette component is, inhaler component is a lot worse. Because cigarette at least has tobacco, which is natural. Inhaler has nothing natural. But giving fatwa. It doesn't stop there. You see, shaitan never stops. If you are vomiting on purpose by smelling something and you vomit, haram, it breaks your fast. But if you inject vaccine, your fast is okay. Vaccine. But you inject water, it breaks. He actually literally said the water, for hydration. Hydration, they inject water, right? In the vein, you know that, dehydrated people. That will break. But vaccine, which is full of chemicals, water is haram, but full of chemical is halal. So these guys do not even see what they're saying. It's so contradictory and so opposite. Remember what I said, deliberate schizophrenia? It's like crazy, completely opposite. And this is the guys, when Prophet came, they attacked only the Prophet. Musa is the only target. They did not attack Pharaoh. There was no protest against Pharaoh. All the hate was towards Musa. So, if you see any statement, you can logically analyze and say, this is the problem. Just like we did now, that analysis you have to do for every scientific paper.
Well, I think this point is a little knowledge. Who can't differentiate between vaccine and...
It's a very good example.
Yeah.
That it is dangerous for him because he is going to hell because of it.
Where he can't differentiate between tobacco and
Yes.
inhaler.
Yes.
This point is a little knowledge.
And that's why it is very dangerous for a person to start giving fatwa. And it's not randomly. He's not doing it out of ignorance. Because nobody with any akal in Surah Mulk 67:10 said, use your akal or listen. Listen to this prophet or use your akal. They do not do either. If you took even prophet's hadith, any hadith, you'll be guided. But if they don't, they take the hadith only when it fits. There is no research without checking the veracity of data. See, first thing we have data. When we have scientific paper, we are analyzing data. We have to check if it's true or false to go to the next stage. Without asking what and why questions. Why are you saying this? What to question? Now we say, well, what if it's a hadith and Quran? Even then you have to say why. You know why? Not to question Allah, how dare you, but to find out, if you know why, then we can extrapolate today.
Yeah.
If you do not know why, then you can explore. Because this mufti or whatever he was, he would say, there's no hadith that talks about vaccine. But you have to know what is the context, then you can extrapolate. So nothing you can extrapolate from hadith, because everything that we have today, it was not in Prophet's time, including the whiskey. Remember that how many have seen that Saudi Arabia is saying whiskey is okay? Halal whiskey. Did you see the post? It's real. It's not a joke. See how they twist around? If we are angry about whiskey, how much angry you should be about aspartame? Whiskey has natural alcohol, refined natural alcohol. And natural alcohol, what did Allah say? It has good and bad both, but both more bad. But aspartame has nothing bad, good in it. It's a neurotoxin. Who says? The guys who manufacture, they say. It's in the website. My daughter was doing a project and she wrote something very striking. Question was, she said, for water treatment, you should not use chemicals. So they asked why. She said, just Google the chemicals and see what you get. It's not very difficult. You want to treat water with chlorine, with fluoride, with all these antibacterial pills? Just Google what they are. Very toxic. This is my final slide on this. Real moment, accept Allah as the sole lawmaker. Law of everything, He made it. Politics, science, mathematics, every law, Allah made it. That's how the universe is running as per Allah's law. Secular Muslim, you do know what secular Muslims do. They pray like Turkish people. Azmal is here?
No.
Azmal did not come back. Okay. Like Turkish people, they pray and everything, but they have a system that is secular and everybody thinks he's a Khalifa. Right? So, what is their dalala? Allah created all the laws, but not social laws, not political laws. Political laws have to be Kamal Atatürk. Scientifically ignorant Muslims, that's almost all of them, they think, oh yeah, we accept Allah is the lawmaker for Sharia. But science, how to build something, subhanAllah, we have to rely on Newton, Einstein, and look at dunya, how glamorous. Look at Dubai, mashallah. And those are not Allah's laws, those are human laws. That's the vast majority. They have no problem with Sharia. But for them, Sharia does not, Allah did not make any law for science. You have to rely on the West. Rest of the world, see, we talked about Muslims. Real Muslim, that's 1 out of 73 groups. They accept both. Secular Muslims, Darwin group, they believe that Allah doesn't make any law for politics. Maghzub group, another group, 72, they believe Allah did not make any law for science and technology. Rest of the world, believe it or not, the non-Muslims, they actually know that law of shaitan is really terrible. They call it technological disaster. Muslims are the only group fascinated by it. In the West, I have seen nobody saying that it's great. They see it as a problem, especially the top scholars. But they do not know the solution. That's where we are at. We have a very big follower who are hungry for solution, but they do not know what to look at. We have a very small group, 1 out of 73, the top one, who know the solution. Now our job is to connect the two. trust me, the biggest resistance will come from Muslims. And that has been the history. Your resistance will not come from America or Russia, because they are all dying for a solution. That's why my university, who got the offer? Where did I get the offer from? Did I tell you? My books are most sold in China. Next in America. 0 in Saudi Arabia. 0. Even though I went to Saudi Arabia, I made the top guys, very top guys. I gave the book. I said, we should share it with the king. It was petroleum. I have the book uploaded, Greening of Petroleum Operations. He actually said we should share with the king. Nothing happens. They invited me, they showed me all the way, but nothing happened. Where did I give an offer from the university? China and India. But I decided to come here.
They sent you over.
They did, both of them. So this is real, and that's why I said this is my personal experience. Now, why do they lie? Why do people lie? Make no mistake, lie is kufr itself. Kufr and lie, they are not separate. And we have evidence from Quran. How many times you have seen this? Every kufr is a lie. Every lie is a kufr. That's why in Surah Baqarah 26 today we saw that Allazina kafaru, they are not going to accept. They are the one challenging Allah. They have zero respect for Allah. So when you have tendency to lie, you should realize that I'm doing kufr right now. And why do they do that? You know why? Trust me, I do not see any other example. Unless you're crazy, they think it will benefit him in the short term. Either will get money or reputation or some favor in the short term. Going back to the example of the student who went to the vice chancellor, why did you do that? He knows me. Because the vice chancellor will think, oh, what a great guy. He was one of the failing students. That way he will secure his passing. See, he was so brave that this famous professor came, he is brave enough to cross him. So he became a star. It's always about yourself. Remember Shaitan's biggest thing? It was about himself. So when you lie and insist on lying, we are putting ourselves as God. So we are doing shirk with Allah, with ourselves. I did not see any exception. And in the West, it always transforms into money. You want to gain some favor. Always. So this is the science they adopt. You lie right from the beginning. You got money to prove some point. Medicine A or medicine B? It's a very closed question. It's not an open question. It's not a real question. Then you design a lab based on false theory that will support. Every lab design you can bring any lab design, I'll tell you which theory it is based on, and I'll show you how illogical it is. That's why I kept asking you, check the theory. What are the assumptions? Then, why do you do that? To confirm desired outcome.
Not to
It has nothing to do with finding the truth. You know what the funding agency, what he will be happy with. So you try to confirm to the outcome that they desire. Then you have, instead of knowledge, you have great deal of, you know what Hebrew says? Is pride in your ignorance. I have published a paper in Science magazine, the top magazine. Then you decide your conclusion that makes the funding agency happy. That's the normal. 100%, not even 1%. 199%. It's 100% of them operate like this. This is their research. Has nothing to do with seeking help. And all of them are unsustainable. It's no surprise. If you look at the history, all the Muslim scholars, did anybody do experiment? Lab experiment? Do you know any?
The history.
Yes.
About what, sir?
Scholars like Ibn Hazm, Ibn Sina, Ibn Rushd, all those
Zakaria did.
mathematicians, the chemistry guys.
Yeah, we haven't heard.
To begin with,
The inventor of alcohol
yeah, yes, he
did
did.
experiment in the lab.
Yes, but what is the result? It was not experiment to produce result that will be upgraded, right? They were to see Zahir, for instance, he did experiment. He's making chemicals, right?
Yeah.
Did you devise that first, according to certain theory? No, you want the product. Did you buy a regulator to maintain the temperature at 20 degrees because the book says it's 20 degrees? No, we're trying to see, manually up and down. So when they did experiment, it was to find a result. They are interested in what becomes our comes out. When you do an experiment in super collider, it's completely different. From a super collider, only result you will get that makes them happy. There is no truth coming up. More importantly, none of them. You check the history. Who funded Bukhari's research? Who funded Ibn Hazm's research?
No.
He was funded one, but that one he gave up. How to deviate Nile River. He gave up on that, he ran away. But when his biggest invention, light theory, right? Pinhole camera. Who funded? Nobody. Money was not the driver for knowledge. It never was. It never is. Money is the driver of Shaitanic technology. And that has changed last 400 years. Newton was the first one. I keep mentioning about Newton. Newton was the first one in the history. Check the history. Galileo was hated by the establishment. Their own establishment. All the scientists were persecuted. Many of them committed suicide because they could not take it anymore. Newton comes, everybody loves Newton. They put Newton in a very lucrative job. He was making a lot of money. Doing what? He was attesting it is a fake coin or not. Fake coin guys they are decapitated. He was their guy. Being paid for real is a new thing. Islamic scholars had to pay from their pocket to Bukhari's history. Like, a single mother traveled far and wide to collect just one hadith. Who funded him? Nobody. So this culture that you fund something and you make technology development is a new one. So we have to change that. And we have said it many times, to intention-based. And this is Iqtisad. Qasad is a dynamic term. Niya is a static term, just like Iman. Qasad is like Islam. So, every step of the way, you have to check what is my intention, what is my intention. Intention cannot be anything other than pleasing Allah. That means it cannot be to please the establishment. You have a project, this will satisfy the establishment, You do not do that.
Sir, this iqtisad, which literally means
Economics.
Economics.
Yes.
So this is derived from caste.
Yes.
So,
Discuss.
but how we can justify it? Like the caste.
Prophet Muhammad said, do qasad. What is he saying? When somebody is making wuzu, right, from a well, and Prophet said, do qasad. You know the famous hadith. And he said, what qasad? Because it's a well, right? He understood. It means economize. Economize is a good term.
Okay.
So in Islam, economize means conforming to Allah's order. It doesn't mean saving money, it means actually spending money. Being closer to Allah. So that's the difference. Fundamentally it's different. So Prophet said, do qasad even when it's a river. So for Muslims, resource does not depend, doesn't dictate our action. The action dictated by our intention. You can have a lot of money, doesn't mean you are going to waste any. And we have famous this about that with Osman when he bought the well. Muslims were the most stingy when it comes to bargaining, because they do not want to waste, they want to optimize. And they are the most generous when it comes to charity. Because charity is the best investment, and that we'll see pretty soon. So, here's the golden standard. For economics, for everything, this is the standard. And that's Quran and Hadith. We have extremism, both sides, but deviation from this standard is not acceptable. It's not a starting point. So, gold standard economics. I have this is I got from ancient China. It's very interesting. They say, Shen literally is Allah. In Chinese, the word for God, it looks very much like Allah. And they interpret it has a rope coming down. The middle one is a little rope that is coming down. That rope is Allah's rope, right? Hang on to Allah's rope. So they literally have this theory that all chi is the energy. La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. Quwwat is chi. And jing is the one that drives us. This is our soul. So our soul literally is connected to Allah. We have no energy. So you see how interesting it is? This was 5,000-year-old theory. I learned that from Chinese medicine, and I love this because in Chinese medicine, also Chinese theory as well, akal is a matter of heart, not brain. As a matter of fact, brain is not a vital organ for them. It's the heart. And it's also the monarch organ, meaning the king. Khalifa stays here. This is the Khalifa's place. Because that's, we want our intention. And intention is in the heart. So what is the starting premise? Islam. In economics. Everything belongs to Allah.
Exactly.
We want nothing. Only thing we want is our intention. And it has no value. It has no economic value. It's not money. So everything is owned by Allah. Allah made it very explicit. Every wealth belongs to Allah and His Prophet. Why is the Prophet important? Because Prophet will tell you how to spend. You are not at liberty. There is no such thing as a, famous hadith about Omar subpoenaing his governor from Egypt. Do you know that story? He was spending a lot of money on his own. He was eating white bread, He called him, and there was food, there was olive oil and bread, nothing else. So he thought it is appetizer, right? So he's waiting. He said, Omar said, why are you not eating? So okay, so he ate, and it's finished, and it's done. So Omar said, how was the meal? I said, Alhamdulillah, right? He's being humble. He said, but I heard that you're eating white bread and all these things. He said, but I'm spending from my own money. Do you know this? That is very profound. Very good example. Talk about Khulafa Rashidin example, beautiful example. He said, oh, Egyptian governor now has his own money. You see the point? Even Khulafa Rashidin's governor did not realize how Dalai it was. He said, you have your own money now. You see, that's the standard we're talking about. You are not at liberty to do anything unless it confirms to please Allah. Do you know the story?
You
This is the
forgot
first
it.
time. Yeah. This is very, very profound. Omar was very hard. You know, it's so interesting. Omar went to, who is the guy who had the list of Munafiqun?
Huzaifa ibn Yaman.
Who?
Huzaifa.
Uzaifa. Omar went to him and he asked, who is there? I said, no, I'm not going to tell you. Then he said, am I there? You see, that's the level of Iman. That's the level of, and we are sitting here, mashallah, I have no problem. I'm never going to be Munafi. I made it. I'm stamped alim, I'm a PhD, whatever. I'm done. I will only give fatwa now. Amirul Mu'minin asking me, is my list on the name on the list? This is the high humility. Yes.
And actually, at the time of before that, when he got injured, he told to Abdullah ibn Umar that please follow Huzaifa ibn Yaman, does he came to my prayer or not. If he come, that be assured that I am Mu'min. But if he not attend my participate my prayer,
Subhanallah. So Omar found this technique. He really wants to know. Then he said, is there a governor who is on the list? Without naming. Right? And he said, there is one. And that's why he went crazy. You remember how harsh he was? He was trying to find out who is that. So he was interrogating them. So that's the level of consciousness we have to have. Constantly worrying. Say, it better not be me. How interesting. So this is the starting point. I'm at liberty to do nothing. Spend nothing until I confirm that this is the right way. Again, Quranic verse that says your wealth and children, both of them. It's very interesting these children comes. Because there is a hadith that will clarify this. They are both tests. Good child, bad child, poverty, lot of wealth, little wealth, they are all tests. There's no limit. Contrast this with today, banking. Bank owns everything. You know that. When you say Elon Musk is the richest man, it's nothing. Do you know when he bought Twitter? What is it, 44 billion? Most of it, actually all of it, with bank. It's not true humans own everything, the Rothschild family, it's the bank. And that's the Rothschild family. All the children were started with the banker. They own everything. Literally banking or the trust in Shaitan's world is, they replaced Allah with banking. In God we trust. Where is it? On money. Where's the money God? Iman means trust. Trust in the West is actually banking system. So that's capitalism. So in socialism, state owns everything. All rewards go to the state. You know those two arms. This is the gold standard and the right and left. Capitalism, socialism. There is no escape. That's the only economics we were told.
Sir, in capitalism, bank owns all the things.
Yes.
But who owns the bank?
Very few guys.
Okay.
That's the Rothschild family, for instance. All the Federal Reserve owned by them. It's the mother of all bank is the Federal Reserve. It's not a bank, but they own the banks. They keep out money, without printing.
There's some central banks are owned by
Central
state.
bank is the same. Yes. Yes, exactly. Where do they get the money? Central bank system. Where do they get the money? From the same guys. IMF, World Bank, all of them owned by the same. It's a Shaitan's network. So, Islam starts with everything Allah's. Then you have earning guideline, very strict. Only earning allowed is halal. So any money you're making, you have to check if it is halal or not. Untayyib. If it's not, then you have violated the first basic tenet of So what is interesting? Children and wealth are tests, right? What is the best earning? You know who told me that? My son. I once borrowed money from him. I'm always running out of money. So I asked him and I said, okay, I'll pay you back next month, right? He said, no, you don't have to pay back. Because this is the hadith. All my money is yours first. Right? So beautiful, the system. So if you have that, how do you increase your earning? Chaman Ali, are you married?
Yeah.
How many children?
2.
Okay. How many do you want to have, inshallah?
As much as we
2 is sufficient.
Oh, don't you want to increase your earning?
No.
That's why I asked you the question. La hawla wa la
It
quwwata illa
brings
billah.
me more responsibility.
See-
It is from Allah, but yes,
You see how you are diverting away? He doesn't want to be rich. What are you saying? I'm just kidding. But this is the point. You see, they told us 2 is enough, 1 is enough, especially third world. In the meantime, Elon Musk has 12 with 5 different mothers. 6 or 7, maybe 10. See, double standard.
Sir, that
Yeah.
I have one question. What is the difference between tayyib and halal?
Halal comes first. It's the first bifurcation point. Right? First bifurcation is halal. Then tayyib is. Subhanallah. We'll see that it's value added, making it better. When you have yogurt, right? When you have milk, how can you add value to yogurt, the milk? Making yogurt is more expensive, isn't it? You see how cheese even more expensive. So tayyib follows that path, but it starts with halal. And further refinement, value addition is tayyib. So it's not enough to have halal, it has to be better, it's naturally better process. So halal and tayyiba, right? Halal came first, then tayyib. For instance, for Bani Israel, after 3 days you cannot eat that food, the meat. delicacy is no longer taib, even though it is halal. So halal is, taib is the dynamic part. Yeah, it is very clear, and this is from Hadith. Children are the best income. So you want to increase your income, have more children.
Having more children is beneficial in all cultures,
Should be.
because in the West there is less tax when you have lots of children.
Very true, very true. And rich people understand that. It's the poor people who are convinced now in the third world that they should have less children, especially countries like China, India. I don't know that logic. It's just so crooked.
But in India, there are not restrictions.
No, but they want, culturally they want only boys. They don't want children, girls. They kill them. They used to kill-
Boys.
You know, it's like they hate women.
Yeah, in China, that problem was very big, and someone investigated that and got Nobel Prize.
I don't know.
Under something that buried girls or something, some topic like that.
It's possible. So, earning guideline from Allah is very different from the West. How do you earn more money in the West? Anybody knows? Anybody know how to make money, more money in the West? More fakery. More fakery. Right? Nobody makes money, by the way, by investing in bank. Bank gives very little interest. But you can fake somebody who can create fake value. Then what is the biggest income nowadays? Facebook. What is the biggest income in say, what is it? Amazon. It doesn't have a single shop. Facebook doesn't have a single product.